A $24.4 billion allocation does not automatically translate into operational capability without a target architecture, layer prioritization, test milestones, and a budget breakdown by sub-program. In late January 2026, Congress directed the Department of Defense to convert approved Golden Dome funding into a detailed budget and system architecture plan. That one sentence tells you exactly where this program stands right now. The money exists, the intent exists, but intent and funding alone don't build a national missile defense network. What Congress is saying very clearly is that the Pentagon now has to move Golden Dome from a concept into something that can actually be engineered, contracted, tested, and fielded. This is a moment where big defense visions either turn into real capability or fade into a collection of disconnected projects. In late January 2026, Congress directed the Department of Defense to convert approved Golden Dome funding into a detailed budget and system architecture plan. The move signals growing pressure on the Pentagon to show how the ambitious homeland defense concept will move from vision to executable program. U.S. lawmakers are tightening oversight of the Golden Dome for America initiative, pressing the Department of Defense to translate existing appropriations into a concrete budget and architecture roadmap. The push follows mounting concern on Capitol Hill that 1 year after the program was established by Executive Order 14186 in January 2025, key details on system design, integration, and acquisition sequencing remain undefined, according to congressional guidance accompanying recent defense legislation. That concern isn't abstract. Large defense programs have a long history of drifting when architecture decisions are delayed. Without a defined target architecture, every subsystem risks being optimized in isolation, and the result is expensive capability that doesn't integrate cleanly into a national defense picture. According to the Congressional Research Service, Congress provided $24.4 billion for Golden Dome-related efforts through the FY 2025 Budget Reconciliation Law. This allocation gives the program a major financial basis, but it does not by itself enable structured acquisition without detailed justification materials, architecture choices, and a realistic schedule. The immediate issue is therefore not the creation of the concept, which has been in place since 2025, but the shift toward execution, breaking down funding lines, prioritizing layers, defining the target architecture, and establishing governance mechanisms. In this context, Congress's formal requirement aims to make the program auditable, contractable, and measurable. That matters because once a program becomes auditable and measurable, it becomes real in a way that Congress, industry, and the military can actually manage. Without that structure, billions of dollars can move without producing coherent, integrated capability. Golden Dome for America differs from a conventional procurement program because of its scope. It is described as a system of systems combining space-based sensors, ground-based radars, interception capabilities, and command and control networks. The objective is to create a complete defensive chain, from early warning to engagement, including precision tracking and target discrimination. This approach reflects a technical constraint of missile defense. Interceptors are only one element, while overall performance depends largely on track continuity, data quality, and the time available for decision-making. You can have the most capable interceptor in the world, but if the track data is late, degraded, or fragmented across networks, the engagement window collapses. Missile defense is fundamentally a race against time and uncertainty, and the architecture determines how much time and certainty the defender gets. The threat set drives the need for a layered architecture. Ballistic missiles can be detected early and tracked through mid-course, while cruise missiles operate at low altitude to exploit radar horizon limitations and reduce detection ranges. Hypersonic weapons, especially maneuvering glide vehicles, add complexity by combining high speed, altitude changes, and less predictable trajectories, which compress engagement timelines and increase tracking requirements. Golden Dome is intended to link multiple sensing layers with multiple interception layers to create successive engagement opportunities and reduce coverage gaps. This layered concept is not about building one perfect shield. It is about creating overlapping chances to detect, track, and engage across different phases of flight. because no single layer will be reliable enough on its own against a mixed threat environment. The space segment becomes a structuring component because it shapes warning time and initial track quality. CRS highlights the importance of space systems for detection and tracking, and U.S. efforts already include advanced infrared satellite programs. In this type of architecture, orbital infrared sensing supports early detection of a launch's thermal signature and can help maintain track custody beyond the geographic constraints of ground-based radars. That time advantage matters because it increases decision margin, enables earlier queuing of terrestrial sensors, and improves the likelihood of generating engagement-quality tracking data. In practical terms, every extra second of warning time expands the defender's options. It allows sensors to be queued earlier, command networks to stabilize the picture, and engagement elements to posture before the threat enters the most compressed part of the timeline. The ground layer then depends on radars able to provide precise tracking and credible discrimination. Long-range discrimination class sensors are designed to distinguish real threats from decoys, debris, or secondary objects, which becomes decisive when countermeasures are employed. In layered defense, this level of fidelity directly affects shock doctrine, interceptor allocation, and the ability to avoid premature depletion of inventories. Technically, such radars rely on active electronically scanned arrays capable of rapid track updates and simultaneous monitoring of multiple objects. This is where missile defense becomes as much about data management as it is about physics. Discrimination quality determines whether the system fires at the right object at the right time with the right interceptor, instead of burning through interceptors against decoys and clutter. The interception layer cannot be reduced to a single interceptor type. Golden Dome is expected to combine engagements at different phases of flight depending on the threat category and available time. Some interceptors are designed for high-altitude terminal engagements, while others support earlier engagement opportunities, and the purpose of layering is to allow sequential shots against the same target. This reflects an operational reality. Interception is not guaranteed, and a resilient architecture must provide multiple engagement chances, including under jamming, track degradation, or failure of an initial shot. Layering shots across phases of flight changes the defender's odds. It turns a single, high-stakes engagement into a sequence of opportunities to correct for uncertainty and failure. The enabling backbone of the system remains command and control. Golden Dome requires networks capable of fusing heterogeneous data from space and ground sensors and distributing a coherent tactical picture to engagement elements. In complex raid conditions, the challenge is not only detection, but also prioritization, assignment, and rapid decision-making supported by resilient data links. Without this layer, the architecture becomes a set of capable but disconnected assets, effective locally but unable to deliver an integrated national defense function. This is the part that tends to be invisible to the public, but it is often the hardest problem. Integrating sensors and shooters across domains, services, and networks is where programs succeed or fail, because every interface becomes a potential point of friction or delay. A Golden Dome-type architecture is intended to improve resilience against saturation attacks and mixed raids. Space-based warning can extend reaction time, ground radars can refine discrimination, and interceptors can provide staggered engagements aligned with different flight profiles. The intended effect is twofold: increasing interception probability through redundancy, and complicating adversary planning by forcing larger salvos, multi-axis trajectories, and more costly countermeasures. In practice, layered defense doesn't eliminate risk, but it changes the attack's cost structure and improves protection options for critical nodes. That shift in cost structure matters, because if an adversary has to commit more missiles, more complex trajectories, and more countermeasures to achieve the same effect, the defender gains deterrent value even without perfect interception. A $24.4 billion allocation does not automatically translate into operational capability without a target architecture, layer prioritization, test milestones, and a budget breakdown by sub-program. The formal requirement for detailed documentation supports oversight, structures contracting, and reduces the risk of funding being absorbed without measurable outputs. In large defense programs, architecture and budget justification are not administrative formalities. They determine what will be built, tested, and fielded. This is the inflection point where Golden Dome either becomes a coherent system with a clear development path or fragment into parallel efforts that never fully converge. The near-term path, therefore, depends on converting funding into an executable program. Once architecture and detailed spending lines are stabilized, the Department of Defense can prioritize integration of available building blocks, launch system engineering and integration contracts, and move toward an initial operational capability. The most demanding segments, including defense against maneuvering hypersonic threats and any potential space-based interception layer, would require demonstrations, testing, and technical trade-offs before they can be considered credible. This is where expectations have to be realistic. Some elements can move quickly because the building blocks already exist. Others will take time because the physics, the integration challenges, and the testing requirements are unforgiving. Golden Dome fits into broader patterns of technological competition and strategic stability. A strengthened U.S. missile defense architecture, particularly if it relies more heavily on space-enabled sensing and integrated layers, will be monitored by states fielding ballistic and hypersonic arsenals, which may adjust doctrine, salvo sizes, and countermeasures. At the same time, U.S. allies are likely to assess the value of greater interoperability with improved detection and tracking networks, while weighing escalation dynamics and potential adversary responses in an environment where space is increasingly contested. Golden Dome is therefore not only a procurement effort, but also an indicator of how the United States is adapting its defensive posture to an era of faster, maneuvering, and harder to discriminate missile threats. This moment, where funding is forced to become architecture, and architecture is forced to become executable capability, will shape what Golden Dome actually becomes in the real world.